Yo, what's up? This is Hunt for the Perfect Parlay, week 18. Let's get in, guys. Yo. So, welcome back. And if this is your first time being here, this is Hunt for the Perfect Parlay. You know what I'm saying? Where each week we try to get a perfect parlay of all the games in the NFL season, well, of the NFL week. Um, that's just the format of the show. I have many parlays that I be whipping up and everything, but let's just roll with it. This is the basis for the show. We're just gonna pick each game, you know what I'm saying, and try to see if we can get a winner of each game and stuff like that. Perfect parlay, get you big wins and all that. So here we go, man. Here we go. Let's just get in. It's the last episode, man. So we're pretty much there at the finish line. Last episode of the season. Then I'll be starting the playoffs. So, disclaimer, I am not an expert. Please do your own research. Any gains or losses are strictly on you. Take accountability and gamble responsibly. So, with that being said, man, we got some very important games, and then we got some games that are not important. So, we're going to start it off first with the Saturday games. Carolina versus Tampa Bay and the Seahawks versus San Francisco 49ers. Carolina versus Tampa Bay, the spread is set at 3.0, Tampa Bay being the favorite. And for Seahawks versus San Francisco, the spread is set at 1.5, Seahawks being the favorite. So with this right here, Carolina and Tampa, winner takes all in this one right here. Whoever wins the NFC South. You all know the narrative. You all know the story. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just get it in who we think is going to win or who I think is going to win. Real talk, you know me, Carolina Panther fan right here. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Carolina. Tampa, okay, for the game to win, I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa wins. I really wouldn't be surprised, but I would not be surprised if Carolina makes it in because Atlanta beating New Orleans. But that's a whole different story for a whole nother show and everything. But that's just kind of crazy, like how Tampa Bay just let the ball drop like that. And now they have to pretty much just win and hope that New Orleans win in order for them to hit the playoffs. But other than that, man, I'll be ballsy and I'll do an underdog parlay for Saturday. Select Carolina to beat Tampa Bay and select San Francisco to beat the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks have been getting lucky. Let's just say most of the Seahawks wins out the last 3 games have been out of luck. Let me just say that this is just my speculations right here. And I think San Francisco will beat the Seahawks. I think that they will fall short of this one. And this is an important game too because it kind of locks in for second seed, I want to say. No, the Seahawks already got their berth and they already clinched. So I think it's between San Francisco and the Rams for, I guess, I forget what seed. I forget what seed right now, but we're going to get back into the playoff picture. Right now, this is not playoff pictures. This is pretty much selection of a perfect parlay. So Saturday, I will be ballsy and I'll do an underdog parlay. Select Carolina and select San Francisco on a Saturday ticket. Now let's get into the juicy ticket right here for the Sunday tickets, right? Okay, so there are a couple games that are pretty much like, you have to sit down and you have to really go into your think tank and try to see if you're going to win. So let's just knock off the easy ones right here. Indy versus Houston. Spread set at 10. Houston is the favorite. I select Houston to win that game. You know what? I was going to select that game, but we'll come back to that one. Tennessee versus Jacksonville. Spread set at 13.5. Jacksonville is the favorite. I select Jacksonville for that game. Arizona versus the Los Angeles Rams. Spread set at 8.5. Rams being the favorite. I select the Rams on that one. Washington versus Philadelphia. Spread set at 4.5 points being given to the Eagles. I select Philly to win that game. Miami versus New England. Spread set at 11.5. New England being the favorite. I select New England. New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. 7.5 spread, Buffalo being the favorite. Obviously, you're going to pick Buffalo for that one. And now these are the games that you kind of have to think on who might win these games right here. You never know. The first game that I was kind of going with a head scratcher is Cleveland versus Cincinnati. Spread set at 7.5, Cincinnati being the favorite. Just because Cleveland has that defense. And their offense is actually clicking now and whatnot. Their offense has an identity. You know Myles Garrett is just that defense right there. Cincinnati never had a good defense. And I know Joe Burrow is going to have a time with Myles Garrett being in his face pretty much the whole game. So this is a difficult game to select, especially when they got Cincy by 7.5. Cincy could bust that ass, but then again, you never know, man. Just with this defense alone, that keeps Cleveland in game, that kept Cleveland in games in the previous games. So safe bet would be Cincinnati. Cincinnati will win. So I select Cincy. Next game will be Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. After I did a lot of research on this I don't even know if Jordan Love is going to play. Malik Willis is most likely not going to play. It all depends on what quarterback is going to be playing for the Green Bay Packers to see if they are even going to compete with Minnesota, because they're giving the spread as Minnesota 9.5. And how Minnesota has been balling out, especially beating Detroit last week. Your safe bet would be Minnesota. Minnesota is just beating teams now for some reason, and it's towards the end of the season. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Most of these people, most of these games, most of these players are going to be playing competitive. Last game of the season, most teams are going home. Playoffs is going to start. So anyways, Green Bay versus Minnesota. Today, I would choose Minnesota. I think Jordan Love is going to play. I think he's going to play, but then I'm not sure because he's not on the injury. He's not really on the injury report. So just keep your eye on the injury. Just keep your eye on who's going to be starting that game, and I'm going to choose Minnesota right in here, right now. All right, the next game, which will decide if Carolina will be going to the playoffs or not, is the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. Spread set at 3.5. Atlanta being favorite. I'm gonna have to choose Atlanta. Just the game, how they played against the Rams was just like, come on, man. Where was this team where we was talking about this team like weeks ago? But yeah, I have to see Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's playing in their comfort zone right now, so I think they could make New Orleans honest and everything. Tyler Shog, he's their quarterback, and it might just be a good old division game like between these two teams. But I'll have to choose Atlanta to beat New Orleans. The Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. Now today I was looking at it, and then I put it more underneath the scope, and I think the Chargers are going to be sitting most of their starters, so I would select Denver to win. So Denver will be the winner of that. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Spread set at 5.5. Kansas being the favorite. I guess I'll have to trust in Kansas to actually just get the win because Las Vegas suck. I mean, they suck, and this might be a tank game for them. They might just tank just so they can get the number one pick in the draft. Like, it makes no sense to even win. It makes no sense to win. It's just like, just throw the third stringers in there. I guess save the ones that's on contract and build for next year. Yeah, Kansas City. The next game right here, Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. Spread set at 3.0. Chicago being the favorite. Now that's crazy right here because when they first met, Detroit beat the shit out of them. Now Detroit is looking depressed because they got beat by the damn Vikings, and the Vikings just pretty much just put out the last light of their flame, and that was it. So who knows, man? What type of Detroit team is gonna come over with Chicago? Who would have thought that they would have been right here, like number one in their division? Who would have thought? But other than that, we have to decide who's going to be a winner. Where all the factors there. Don't know what type of Detroit team you're going to get. Obviously, the safe bet would be Chicago, but I guess go with Chicago on this one. And Chicago, yeah. I know Detroit missing the hell out of Ben Johnson, that's for sure. And the Sunday night football game, I think that's Sunday night or Monday night, whoever it is the Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Spread set at 3.5. Baltimore being the favorite. I gotta roll with Baltimore. I have to roll Baltimore, man. Like at times I don't want to, just because how they've been playing and whatnot. But then they just gotta beat the Steelers. I don't see. It could happen too, man. The Steelers can just come with a victory on Baltimore because Baltimore will make the most mistakes. Like I could just see that happening, but people saying Baltimore, I might roll with Baltimore. I just think like Pittsburgh is pretty much at the end of their game right now. Even if they do make the playoffs, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs four. I don't think they're gonna make it far in the playoffs. So yeah, it is what it is with that one. So I select Baltimore and everything. Other than that, that's pretty much the entire list, unless we got any more games. Unless I'm missing one game, but I don't really feel like booting the computer back up or anything. So if you made it this far with me, man, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We just finally got through the season. Finally, but my track record when it comes to this stuff, I really didn't hit no perfect parlays, guys. This has been a weird season, very confusing season, and it's gonna be even funner when the playoffs pop up, man, because this was like a wow season. That's all I can say about that. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching the show, logging in, clocking in, clicking in, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just appreciate all the love and the support. And yeah, I'm gonna be back with some more episodes dealing with the playoffs. But after that, I'll be taking a break from sports a little bit. Might be talking like, here and there about basketball and everything. But I really will be taking like, a little breather away from sports because this was a weekly thing and it was kind of tiring. I mean, whoo, man, I had to sacrifice a lot of things just to will myself to do an episode each week. But you know what? It was fun. I love doing this and everything. I'm gonna keep doing this, keep getting better at this. This was just trial run. This was like a trial run for the seasons. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bigger, better. Hopefully have guests on here. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, appreciate you guys and everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I should have said that in the beginning, but yeah, man, appreciate everybody and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just appreciate you guys. So good luck with your parlays, and I'm about to be out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.